Yo, Nubs, what is going on? It's Arcturus here from Call of Dragons, and if there's enough interest and enough people like what I do, then I might make a few more of these. So please comment down below and let me know what you think. Hear me ramble on about my stories. I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe and like this video, and yeah, let's go from there.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
Oh, what? Okay.
Bro, my head full of snow and nurse. Grandma teach me like stone. She make me strong and smart. But the clan still calls me a big nabes. Biggest bullshit I ever heard. Ha ha ha. LOL. Grandma say read the runes, feel the wind, listen to old songs. I try. My hand shake on the letters. Can't stop eyes jumping. But she patient. Grandma is half elf, half orc. Beauty and tree and iron all in one. She put cloth on my shoulder when I small. Then make the training school. She heal the broken and fight with heart like lion. I love her. Then Papa Binapo. He sit long table. Many maps, many names. He smell like smoke and duty. Always smoking. Not good for the lung. He sometimes look at me with that quiet face, like he see the shape of me but not all. People whisper I bastard. I laugh, I ground my axe and show them thunder. But inside, sometimes I want to be his son proper, to stand tall when he nod. When mornings break, I ride my wolf. Me and Elk Rider Ark, we run caravans with Napo, hit the supply lines like ghosts, with talon, hoof and fang, leave the roads empty. I like this. It make me breathe deep, seek peace. But things change quick. 100 immortal pull strings and drivers like iron legions. Grandma say, Vasek Han Neb, keep close. You must learn shaman things, not just X. Napo say, son, you must lead men, not only beasts. Both push. But they argue, and my head split like dry wood. When chiefs gather, they call me Big Nebaz. That word hurt, like knife. I want to be more than just fucking nub, who run from tier 5. So I make Big Alliance decrease. I help plan caravan. I shout orders. I fail and then I try again. I hungry for respect. I try speak more clear, but my words come out like stones. Bro, I do my best. I tell Ark, and he clap my shoulder like man and say some big words. Grandma watch with eyes that soft and hard-boiled. She is nervous. I see fear in her when 100 immortal talk with smiles like snakes. Their warlock, Meberin, conjures black gold with dark magic. It makes warlords get stronger each day, but it cheats them. Choice is coming. I feel it in the throat, like the taste of ash. I am son of two worlds. I will bleed for both, if they ask. But tell me bro, how long can one heart carry to flags before a tear in half?
The snows of Daralan numb the skin, but not the mind. Es aie, Pasi, prepare the mats into nuvola, memory pulse me backward. Back to whole Lendale, to smoker, and fire, and banners trampled in tomat. I remember Hollendale well. There was thick with ash, drifting across the river like black snow. Our banners had been proud once, stretched taut in the wind, but at Hollendale, they hung limp and tattered. The dark forces and phoenix tears stood behind my hidden, clinging to me as if I alone could hold back Inas tired. They whispered resistance like a prayer, as if words could defy inevitability. But resistance is not victory. Even then, I knew the truth. Inas march across the bridges was no raid, no border clash. It was conquest. Der ranks moved with precision, der Standards unbroken, der discipline unshaken. We wäre outnumbered, outmatched, and our so-called coalition was a house of egos and fools. Napoleon thundered about liberty, Ark pleaded for virtue, Vasekan simply wanted a cause to believe in. But belief is not strength. Wat teneva understood was set, Aie, hat al readimade my decision. Behint the smoke and banners, Aie hat opened Creed channels with Ina, with Selvone. The battles at Hollendale were not fought to win, but to me azure. To say who could endure, who could be bent into my designs, and who would born away. Oh, yes, Aie gave them that. But te, were lies. And so when the bridges fell, and the coalition broke, Aie stepped into the only future that mattered. Some call it surrender. Some betrayal. Let them. Hollendale was already lost. Aie simply ensured that. Aie was not buried with it. Aie forget an alliance with Selvone, and placed Musev at its center. Not because Aie was broken, but because Aie understood what others could not. Power recognizes power, and only the pragmatic endure. Ak. Poor Ak. He never forgave me. He begged me to fight on, to hold men like kindling into Ina's fire. He still clings to his illusions, banners, loyalty, brotherhood. Even now, he follows me, not realizing the leashes meine to tuck. Napoleon Aie flatter is an Qual, but in truth he is a novice leader, more fire than discipline, more rhetoric than order. And Vase is simple, eager to prove himself, easy to stare. A gullible pawn who thinks himself a knight. At Hollendale, the age of dreamers ended. The age of realists began. And now, in Daralan, I turn that realism into strategy. I have placed Phoenix Legend at the head of our invasion into Nuvola. Te believe, te march to reclaim lands, stolen from their family. Noble, righteous, defiant. Let them. In truth, te are the first wave, the cannon fodder. Te will bleed themselves against resurrecting the Alpha's defenses, softening the ground for the legions of 100. Their sacrifice will not be wasted, but it will not be their victory either. Victory will be mine.
Nuvola hit like slap. From frost to hot sand, my wolves stink of dust. We march west. Phoenix tears, now called Legend, push hard. Nuvola was not our home, but immortals. Resurgence Alpha rode in from Sophrostia, claiming it, and we were bound by oath to respond. They fought like proud riders, not thieves. I respected that. On the field we learned quick. Honor can shield, but it can also strike like a spear. During the night, we sit at the fire and make big plans. Ark and me do the raider trick on their rear lines, keep them busy, slow them like they stepped in shit. Me not great with maps, but I know where to hit. Supply, stomach of the army. I shout orders in my broken voice and many laugh at first, then they listen. I put my wolf between carts, cut the wheels, the chaos grow. This make them angry, make them move wrong. Resurgence Alpha, they are fierce but not cruel. They fight hard. I get to see their eyes, and I feel respect. Maybe future friends. Maybe. Nuvola was reclaimed, and that is when Thunder Rock appeared, big enough to block the sun, wings cut clouds. His brow feathers stream like lightning, his screech rips the eardrums, and his whole body, crackle, red electric. Its lair, ringed by jagged stone, acid a green pool of water below, smells sharp in nose, 4 zones of water split by rocky island. Bro, when that bird scream like storm, your pants get messy. Napo called his council. They say we can take Behemoth, this be big test. If we win, Phoenix Legend look like real family, not some joke. If we fail, we fall like old wood. Cannot let that happen, or we look like big nubs. So we prepare ourselves. The Behemoth kill they come. Sky black, clouds burn, electric red. Thunder Rock cast his storm into one pool, whole lake light up, and spit electric fire. Any man stand inside get fried like fish. We run to dry island, crowd tight, some too slow, they die screaming. Rock fly high, invincible. When it slam in earth, we dodge, and while it's done, we can use our axe. But an electronic blast hits us. Static surges circle my friends and me. Time stops, then rings explode like thunder drums. Lightning tear through my chest, overwhelming energy. or lar me in the water trash and foam. I scream at Survivor Nabes. Move to island. We fuck it up, many die. But we learn fast. Miners and Vilgoth and many stand close. Grammon healing in back. Napo shout like Iden. When the thunder rock fall, sky tear open, red lightning crash down, and men scream. We take the prize and we cook that big fucking chicken with Lilia's fireballs. Legend Phoenix sing, and immortal send massages with sweet words now. The kingdoms chatter. Phoenix tears suddenly look like legend. But 100 immortal don't love us, still treat us like dogs. Fuck this shit. They want the dragon glory. They want to claim we are family, but also keep leash. Resurgence Alpha look at us with new eyes, maybe future ally. I sit by fire with Gramanub and feel the weight. Naponub look at me like proud and far. I laugh like fool, drink small wine till I'm tipsy, and sleep with wolf warm. Inside me the shaman stirring, thunderstorm brewing, the axe sharpening. I learn to make plans, not only strikes. Maybe leaders inside me, slowly, big nebes, fall away, then they see. All things I do are for family.
The desert winds of Nuvola cut like razors. Sand scours armor and skin alike, but the true erosion happens in the mind. Men tire, alliances fracture, and armies scatter across the dunes until only discipline remains. Resurgence Alpha leans upon its numbers, hordes upon hordes, yet numbers alone do not win wars. Te stretched their command across too many hands, umbras darkness with his menacing silence, Morpheus, Zet Vainglorious deity in waiting, Momonari, wo the silver tongue convinces even the reluctant, and Lady Jessica, dangers not for hair strength but her allure. And then there is Mr. Wire. Sumta im Scout Lev. Sumta im Scout Orga. He changes his names like otters change cloaks, but the poison remains the same. He spreads talk of democracy, of feeding the poor, of liberty for the masses. Such notions appeal to the young, the naive, the disillusioned. I see him for what he is, a dreamer with a sharp tune, nothing more. He rails that 100 cannot be trusted, that assimilation is slavery. He has not yet realized that his own voice is the very proof of our strength. He shouts at shadows because he has no means to strike the substance. More pitiful still is Evo in Momo. Once of our family, now our shrieking phantom haunting Resurgence Alpha. Transformed in body, unbalanced in spirit, Evo's fanatic cries of cheating, dark sorcery, black gold echo across their ranks. He accuses Mabarin of wielding unnatural magics, of binding his strength to the forbidden, of tipping the scales unfairly. To Resurgence Alpha, Evo is a prophet of bitterness. To me, he is simply useful noise. Because while I scream, I listen. My eyes and ears infest their conceals, their messengers, their networks. Wen Resurgence braids, I already know the rhythm of their lungs. They are not unpredictable, they are simply loud. And loud things are easy to cut down. It is in this crucible that Phoenix legend might their stand against the Thunderhawk. I will admit, publicly, that their triumph was stirring. To say was a Khan, that half-feral warrior, command his wolves and rally his men with nothing but voice and instincts. It impressed even Selvone, though he would never say it aloud. Napoleon issued his grand orders, Ark darted about on his elk-like Sommer ancient hero. Together they brought the beast down. I appreciate them, of course. Called it a victory for the Brotherhood of Tamaris, for unity between legend and immortal. Such words cost me nothing, and die by me much. But the truth? It was an accident of circumstance, a useful proof that Phoenix legend can be pointed like a spear toward impossible tasks. They bleed, they break, they somehow stumble to triumph. And while they exhaust themselves upon such spectacles, my legions remain intact, my designs undisturbed. The Thunder Rock is captured, yes. But the real prey is not a bird of storm and feather. The real prey is Nuvola itself, and the control of all who claim it. Phoenix legend can chase monsters, but I will design my outcome. Thrones are not granted to the Vorte, they are seized by those who are prepared. And I have prepared for longer than any of them suspect.
They call me Lev. Some call me Orga. Others simply Wire. I am not a name but a man, and men can be broken or remade. I have walked enough of Tamaris to know the difference between boyhood brave and the steadiness of age, where you learn to speak so that men listen, and you learn to listen so that men speak truth. Nuvola was no place for speeches. Its deserts burn away illusions, leaving only what a man can endure. Resurgence Alpha marched there to cast down 100 immortal, to free the starved and beaten from their corrupt grasp. Banners streamed, voices rose, but faith can fracture swiftly. Our strength was breadth, our weakness was command. Then came Mamanari's letter, written as though the sun itself bent to his pen, every word a performance. But no verse could soften the truth. A band of knights from 100 slipped into our trust, pledged loyalty, and by night betrayed us. They opened the gates of the fortress that held the pass to Kaltia and Bear. In hours, the lifeline of Safrastia was gone. A masterstroke. Unsportsmanlike, yes. But war is never sport. William the Betrayer, they call him now. His knives cut deeper than steel. They cut the faith between men. Once trust breaks, a coalition unravels faster than rope left to weather. One night's treachery became a season of suspicion. Yuo and Momo burst among us at dusk, eyes wild, voice ablade.
You hear? They are witches, Mabarin and his black gold. 100 are sorcerers. They buy loyalty with cursed coin. Even Phoenix legend, they feed the devils.
Some flinched, some nodded. I had seen this before, his fury, bright and poisonous. I caught his arm. Yuo, we were betrayed by knives in the dark, not by spells.
They bought those knives with cursed gold. Do you deny it?
I deny nothing, but if you cry witchcraft to starving men, you will give them riot, not reason. What we need is discipline, men steady enough to fight tomorrow. He tore free, muttering of purges and curses. Mariusrum stood watching. He said little, but his silence had weight. When his elk riders struck supply lines, no one called it sorcery, only precision.
They cut our pass.
He murmured.
We cut theirs. Balance must be paid.
Beside him, my squire, Sagar, ran a whetstone down my blade, the rasp punctuating her words.
Balance will not feed the hungry.
She snapped. Her faith burned hotter than Yuo's frenzy, but it had purpose, like the edge she tended. We were outplayed. One ruse, and our coalition became a chorus of discord. Let others cry of witches. I will stand with the hungry, temper zeal, guide the lost. Dreams alone cannot feed them. They will need a hand that does not trade them for glory.
In days after Thunder Rock Fall, we move south like river. Hollandale green, leaves smell like home. Men tired, but drums say go. We push into Atiran, small fights first, then big. I stand in front and I feel different. Less like jelly, more like rock. The wolves listen to me, men chew. Gremon smile showed when I returned from patrols. Phoenix legend and 100 war band breathe together, but the rope tight. Napo talk with leaders. He try keep peace but his eyes hard. Always arguing with 100 clan. Too much fucking drama. I lose my mind. We cannot trust easily. I talk with Pasi sometimes. He old leader from Shune Shune. His plans are too smart. He forgets his people. But he tells me smart things. He says, Vasenab, watch the shadows. I nod. I watch. Then comes the flame dragon. Its lair hangs on black chains above a pit of molten fire. Rock twisted sharp like teeth. Bones of dead dragons scattered across the floor. Air thick with smoke and ash. We step through runic portals and inside is hell. The fight is madness. Claws like dovers slash whole ranks aside. Flame surges like rivers. A tail sweep crushes 20 men in blink. The beast leap into air, slam ground, shockwave tearing armor. Fireballs fall from sky. One strike can wipe a legion. Then it breathe blazing breath. Troops scatter, some just slow. They burn and scream. Shadow flame eating them alive. Still we fight. Wolves leap, eagles dive. Agna brushes with elk riders. Napo scream orders like iron drum. Grammon sing to spirits, while shaking as abyss lizards crawl from fire. But the dragon grows stronger. 10 minutes inside and rage takes it. Dragonla's barrage shatter the field. Men vanish like smoke. We are broken, shields gone, fire on all sides. Then I feel storm inside me again, Sam as thunder rock. When the dragon pummels us with shadow flame charge, I raise my axe and roar. Rings of lightning burst around me, not just on my skin but through my bones. An energy shield spreads, a dome of storm, holding back fire long enough for last warriors to stand. My chest burn, hands shake, but spirits answer. And when shield breaks, I feel another pull. Delay spit us out, teleported back to the mountain's edge. We survive, barely. Phoenix legend fail. We leave the flame dragon unbitten. Our tents quiet, pride cracked like old wood. And then 100 immortals step in. Their lords are marching with cruel smiles. Meberin the warlock, shadow fire dancing on his hands. Red shadow on his horse, moving faster than flame. Ilog the commander, shouting orders sharp like blade. And always Zelvon watching, silent, eyes like knives. Their strength drowned the dragon, and when it fall, its scream echo through the world. They claim the prize. We watch, bitter. The season end with drums slow. Men sing low songs. I sleep and wake and think. Leader is heavy but warm like hurt if you carry good people. I will carry them. I will make name that not only be whisper, but be shout. Bro, this is my road now.
The lair of the flame dragon was not won by Phoenix legend, Tau Te tried. Aya watched from the shadows of Ateran's cliffs as their banners marched into that inferno of chained stone and molten air. They fought bravely, if one wishes to flutter bravery. Vase Khan called upon newfound thunder, his raw spirit shielding their broken remnants in the dragon's final fury. It was almost moving. Almost. But the outcome was never in doubt. Phoenix legend played themselves against the impossible. And when their strength was spent, 100 immortal stepped in, disciplined and whole, and climate fat muttered. Mabarin's sorcery burned through scale and sinew. Red shadows charge struck like air on lightning. Elok's command bound the chaos into order. And Zelvone only watched, yet his shadow wired more heavily than any blade. The dragon fell to immortal, and with it, the season. Legend were given scraps, praises sung in hollow voice, crumbs from the feast of conquest. They might call themselves brothers of Tamaris, but they serve as they always have, fodder to test the fears before we strike through unwound. Resurgence Alpha fared no better. Their armies broke not only under our strikes but under their own foolishness. I know the truth, because I paid for the whispers. Our spire walked among them, closed in their colors, trusted with their gates. Our single false friend, toppled their union, and their cause collapsed in our day. They will call it betrayal, dishonor, treachery. I call it inevitability. And so Ateran belongs to us. The flame dragon, purified, is chained to our will. The banners of Resurgence retreat, scattered to winds they will never command again. Tamaris is ours to hold. But Tamaris is not enough. Across the eternal sea lies Belleron, the dwarves, redstone cliffs, their markets heavy with gold and secrets, their frost forts high upon the peaks. Already rumors of frostfall, whisper through the courts, of ancient oaths breaking, of dwarfen kings turning their wrath upon old allies. I can smell opportunity in the frozen wind. Let the dwarves rights, let the settlers cry betrayal. War is the crucible in which new orders are born. And when Tamaris answers Belleron's call, it will be my designs, my discipline, that shape the coming age. Legend my stumble toward glory. Resurgence my fracture upon ideals. But I endure. I adapt. I ascend. The bridges of Hollandale ended the dreamer's age. The flame dragon ended the pretender's. Belleron will mark the beginning of mine.
So yeah, if you'd like to join, I'd really appreciate it if you would subscribe and like this video, and yeah, let's go from there. All right, guys. Long live the nubs. Never give up. Always fight. Rah.